What does it mean when a white mob knocks on your door and demands that you send somebody out? If you're African, it usually means there's about to be a lynching. But not this time. On July 7th, there's a national march of resistance happening in Bronson, Florida.
It's Trayvon Martin all over again, except this time, the victim is in jail for fighting back. On June 12th, a white mob led by Chris Milton came to the home of 18-year-old Eric Oliver and his family and demanded that they send out 16-year-old Mikey Vasquez to be attacked.
Sitting there, we heard a knock on the door, and my mom's sitting at the computer, and she's not really feeling good that day anyway. And she's sitting at the computer, and she told somebody to come inside.
When I heard a knock on the door, I hollered, because it usually be the next door neighbors, and I said, "Come in." That's the first thing I hollered, was "Come in." And no one came in.
So when she told me to come inside, nobody answered. Nobody come inside. So I walked to the door and I opened the door and I was like, "What y'all want?" And they told us, "Bring your F-boy outside." And I was like, "Who, Mikey?" And they told us, "Yeah, bring him outside, whatever his name is." And I was like, I called Mikey, and then my brother got up.
And when they went outside, they started hollering and shoving Mikey. That's when my oldest son, that's when he came out. And then he told him, he said, "Y'all know my mama's sick, and y'all come down here." And by that time, they were shoving Mikey down the ramp. And they drug him across the grass, right?
I was in a headlock. He had me in a headlock, and I had him by the leg, and he was dragging my leg up on the ground. And that's when Eric came out.
Right here, all out here was full of people. Right here, from where the grass stopped, all that was full of people.
Eric Oliver was just trying to defend me, and them boys tried to jump on me, and he got him off. So.
After they beat they behind, they ran off, and the lady said, "Nigga, you going to jail, nigga, you going to jail." And when she said, "Nigga, you going to jail," she called the police, and the whole crowd went home like a dog with their tail between their legs.
When police came, they refused to interview neighbors who witnessed the attack, and instead, taking the story of the attackers, arrested Eric Oliver and charged him with aggravated battery. These type of attacks are not new. In fact, this attack on Eric's family happened only 20 miles away from the site of the Rosewood, Florida massacre, where mobs of white people wiped out an entire African community after a white woman falsely claimed a black man raped her. African people have suffered these kind of attacks from police and regular white people for a long time. They are attacks that support a system that rips off African resources and labor and requires violence to keep us in our place. As this system's crisis gets worse, so do the attacks on Africans, not just in the US, but in Germany, Britain, and everywhere. But everywhere, Africans are also fighting back, and Eric Oliver is just part of that trend of righteous resistance. Africans have a right to resist, and Eric Oliver had the right to stand his ground and protect the lives of his family and his home. Now we have to stand our ground and demand that they free Eric Oliver.
He's an average boy. He will protect his mom, me. Nobody can say nothing to me. He loves me. And you know how you can feel love from a child? I can walk in the room. He can walk in the room, and I'm in the room, and I can feel his presence.
Eric Oliver was just trying to defend me.
In the Trayvon Martin case, there were mobilizations across the U.S. and elsewhere to demand justice. In this case, we're taking it further to build organization to stop these type of attacks from happening. It's only because we're disorganized that we continue to be victimized. Join the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. Free Eric Oliver. Also, call in, email, and fax State Attorney William Servone, the State Attorney for the 8th Judicial Circuit Court, which includes Levy County. Let them know that you agree with the demands of the International People's Democratic Movement, that all charges against Eric Anthony Oliver must be dropped and a public apology made to him for this frame-up, that reparations must be paid to Eric Anthony Oliver for his unjust arrest and incarceration, that all officers associated with this arrest must be fired for this frame-up, and that an immediate investigation of the Levy County Sheriff's Office concerning the treatment of the black community in Levy County be held. You can email State Attorney William Servone at courtadmin@circuit8.org or call 352-374-3648 or fax 352-338-3218. Free Eric Oliver.
On July 7th, there's a national march on Bronson, Florida, to defend Eric Oliver, an 18-year-old African who fought back against the lynch mob and won.